Hi, we are back with another great guest here. Again, this is the Social Tiger Talks. We have a whole bunch of people from scaling coach, from sales coaches, from burnout coaches, from vibrant coaches right now. And the reason why we're doing this is because we really want to add value to the community, especially LinkedIn community. And so if you're here, please drop us a line. We don't bite, only on weekends, we promise. And as you go, we're going to continue. We're going to continue to flow. So um, please check in with us where you're from. First of all, where you're tuning in from, and also very important. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat. We'll get to them. But again, just for the sake of the replay, we're going to continue the flow with almost no pauses. So, thank you very much for being here, Kiki. So, Kiki is a very unique individual, just like all of us. I mean that in the utmost great way.
Yeah.
She's different from other burnout coaches. I sense that, and she's going
Mm,
to tell you why. She's
mm,
different in how she gets her clients really good results. We're going to get into that in some tips and tricks, and also Kiki has a great event. It's a free event coming up on the 19th
yeah.
of February. So stay tuned for more details along those lines also. Next week we have the a major event on the Social Tiger Talks, over 120 million in sales in the last 4 years. None
Wow.
other than the great Tanner Chitester, who just won his award last night in the Fun of Hacking Live for 100 million. So he's going to be here on with us next week. I just chatted with him briefly. He's super excited to be here as well next week, next Thursday, and stay tuned for that as well. So let's get right into the meat and potatoes of the things, Kiki. So explain to the audience, um, first of all, what your philosophy is. I know it's a very unique philosophy, and also give a little backstory on how you got into being a vibrant coach.
Jordan, thank you
Mhm.
so much. It's fun to be here with
Yeah.
you. Awesome. Yes, I love the fact that we can come on here and just add value to the audience and really walk them through different types of things. Specifically today, talking about burnout. I love your guest coming up next week. That's going to be incredible. Like how do we build these businesses that, really, take off and give a service, right? And so for me, Kiki, the vibrant coach, hi everyone. Yeah, so what I'm always saying, Jordan, is unlock your potential because life is exciting. Okay.
Mm, yeah.
So the thing with that is, I have a couple soapbox topics, right? And so one of them is life is not a dress rehearsal. We are on.
Wow. Amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. That's good. That's deep. Yeah.
We can't go back 3 days ago and fix it, okay? Like that, and in this world,
Yeah.
it's all
True.
recorded.
So true. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So really, I take my clients from overwhelmed to organized, from chaos to clarity, from burnout to energized, and it is incredible. So even after just a couple sessions with them, they are just experiencing such breakthrough, like AKA the breakthrough coach,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. Mhm.
Just in, you know, y'all, Jordan's had a ton of coaches on here, right? But the thing is we're not a mentor where like, yes, okay, we've gone through some things, but mentors go ahead of you and they show you the way, right? Counselors, they help you deal with your past and all of that. coaches, they come alongside you, help you figure out where you are and where you want to be and the roadmap to get there. And that
Mm,
is my favorite thing. So it's unique to uh, where everyone is at in the journey, right? And that's what makes it like spot on, right?
yeah. Well, yeah, wonderful explanation there, and really, it's all about like the processes, all about maybe the like the strategies. Although keeping it simple is best. Sometimes we get just so lost in the day to day that we only think about that
Yeah, it's
instead
that
of
I
living
call it.
life,
Yeah,
right?
I call it the hamster wheel. Or
Yeah.
if y'all that are ever heard of the hedonic treadmill, like you're just on it and on it and on it, and if we don't stop, it's 40 years from now,
Oh yeah.
like that.
So, yeah. Tell me about it. Tell me about it for
So
sure.
that's why it's so important. Like even like if you hear me out there, LinkedIn world, okay, you need to hear why you need a coach, okay, because you
Mm,
want to get where you want to go faster because we don't have a lot of time.
yep.
Yeah. And so
Yep.
that's why we're here. That's why the coaches are here. Jordan helping us, all the strategies, combining. And for me, the burnout course. So the free event next week, how to go from burnout to energized in 6 weeks. And I know Jordan's going to put all the details, but inside that is the balance blueprint, right?
Mm,
How do you get to balance?
yeah.
How do you process these things? How do you let them go so that
Yeah.
you can actually live to your potential?
Uh-huh.
Because if you're carrying it all, you won't. You can't.
Yep. Yeah. That. I mean, that is so true. Especially like when you have the attitude of carrying it all, it's really detrimental because that's where well, people say balance is key, but the thing is, I mean, like, what is balance to you? Like, what is leading like a balanced kind of lifestyle between
Ooh.
work and life? I know that's a big question.
No, no, no. You're going to get me on my other soapbox, which is boundaries. So
Yeah.
a lot of times I feel, you know, that we're not raised in understanding what healthy boundaries are because we're raised with the like culture expectation of busyness is success. Like if
Hmm.
I'm busy, I'm being successful, or if I'm doing a lot of things, that
Hmm.
my life has meaning. But it's quite the opposite. And so when you say simple, it's
Yeah.
it's just that. You've got to talk through your time. You've got to talk through your job
Yeah.
strategies. How can you delegate or use AI in
Yeah.
making it better for you, right?
Yeah.
There are ways where you can reclaim your time.
Yeah.
So there's a lot inside that balance piece, but
Amazing.
it's definitely like pushing a reset button. Like okay, let's reset
Yeah. Uh,
and
mhm.
make better decisions that align with my values, that align with my goals. A lot of times we make decisions that are just like, oh yeah, I need to do this. Oh yeah, I need to do this because we're in that hamster wheel, right? Get it done, get it done, get it done.
Yeah.
But those decisions might not be the best decisions for our values or our goals.
Yeah. Amazing. So, let us know a little bit about your story and how, like, right now, it's obvious that you're very passionate about this, and you found your calling, and it's obvious to anyone here that you live, breathe it, and you want to help, obviously. So, um, can you let us know a little bit about that journey on how you got to this epiphany of like, okay, you know, I'm pretty good at this, and I think I should go in this direction.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I would love to share that story. I actually wrote Pray About Life Coaching on my vision board in 2020 because I had almost a 20-year career developing people. So I had taken the strengths finder, the Clifton strengths,
Yeah.
like, you take that and you're like, oh, okay, no, 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 that thing changed my life because what happened was is my top strength was developer. It is developer. And when I flipped to the book and read developer, it said, you see people's potential even to a fault, which means like I am able to see the potential in people and beyond what it is that they can even see for themselves. So I got my coaching certification in 2021 and then I immediately started coaching. That I was like, let's launch this program because I had a captive audience, about 850 people. I was like, why not? Let's try it. And I created programs like a 10-week program. I charted before and after graphs, and I would cry every single time I would do them because of the amount of growth that my clients were experiencing. And it came out to an average of 24% increase in satisfaction and
Wow.
happiness with their life,
Amazing.
with their leadership, and their job performance. I mean,
Amazing.
hello, who
Yeah,
doesn't want to be better at all of that?
exactly.
Because it all goes together. So, like, part of the assessments are like it's like a wheel.
Hmm.
So you got to imagine, like, if you put a crazy wonky wheel on your car, you're not going to want to drive it anywhere. Well, if you don't deal with it, you're not going to get very far.
Yeah. 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 Most definitely, it's all about like finding um, that passion of ours, right? I think finding our why
Yeah.
is important. Um, but although too much, like there are people. Well, there's two sides of the coin here, right? There are people say if you truly find your why, no matter how much you work, you'll never get tired. But then there's other people that say even if you find your why, if you if you enjoy your work, you still need to pace it out. So, um, which any opinions on that?
Sure. Yeah. What I think that when people are working in their why, they're working in their most passionate place. And so it energizes you while you're doing it. Now you couldn't do it 24 hours a day because we're just not built that way. We are human. You have to find that cutoff. You have to find that time to recharge because you can't pour out from an empty cup,
Yeah,
right? I can't be the best version of a coach that I can be if I never take the time to take care of myself, which is what I'm telling my clients to do. So if I'm not doing it, then it's like hypocrisy at best. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
And so it is true because when I'm creating courses and when I'm with my clients, it's not work. But then you have the other piece of I can't do that,
mhm,
20 hours in a day. I need to sleep too, right? You don't want a cranky coach. That's not okay.
yeah. Exactly, exactly.
So
So, um, there there's a stigma out there, of course, and maybe you can like share a light on that. That maybe burnout is does not exist,
okay.
right? And that um, sure you have to recharge, but then it just like this. I don't know, this animosity. Not well, not animosity. I wouldn't take it that far, but this sort of like movement against burnout. Just
Mm,
like there's this fervent group of people that don't believe burnout exists. They
mm.
believe in taking breaks, but they don't really. So, what is burnout to you? Like, is it different for every person, or what are your thoughts about that?
So there are aspects of burnout that could be different for each person. Like I have a list of like 5 types of burnout and then some roots that cause the burnout. Okay. But there are things that you experience in a nutshell that is pretty universal. And what I hear a lot is overwhelmed, tired. And I
Mm,
don't even, I have a great life, but I don't like it and I don't know why.
okay.
That one is that one's the underlying thing where It's like you either have had goal fatigue or you have energy gaps for the goals that you've created and you don't realize how much energy it's going to take to get there, just or even pushing yourself so hard to get to a goal that when you actually get there, you don't even know who you are.
Mm, yeah.
Those those are the
Oh,
things.
yeah.
So yeah, for people out there who don't think burnout is real, that's that's the issue. Is you have to stop and actually see that the the culture that we live in, if you live in one of those worker bee cities, right, it's always about work, everything is this, but then we lose sight of what is actually important to us. It's kind of like families get lost in the way, or your deep desires that you have as a person to have a legacy and to help others and serve, it starts to mesh into this mush. And just I hear the bottom line, all of that, the roots and all of, I call them the roots and the fruits. The roots of burnout and the fruits of burnout all lead to tired.
Yeah. Okay. So, so yeah, with the different types of burnouts, um, which which you think is the most common one, like especially nowadays? I know that, and could you like maybe cycle through what you think the different types of burnouts are?
Yeah. Probably the top two that I've seen is masking the pressure. Okay.
Mm.
So these are the people who are kind of walking around like a volcano, but you never know when it's going to go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. Uh-huh.
Everyone knows those people, and so in my presentation, we liken it to Jessica Rabbit. Okay, little drop there, because you've got to balance two different worlds: your work, your home, and when you mask that pressure, you are hiding behind just you become like a stone wall, and you still can get your job done, mind you, you're good at it too, right? It's just everything that is coming against you, it's not sustainable. It's just not sustainable. That's when you crack. That's when you see this crazy stuff happen, like in the news or whatever, like people are just carrying it around and don't realize it.
Yeah.
Another one is overwhelmed and angry. Okay. Like just the overwhelm comes with that lack of boundary, the lack of being able. A lot of times when you're in a job, you're afraid to say something because one, your basic fear is security, like you need the paycheck, you know? And so sometimes you allow people to treat you a way that they shouldn't. And so you become overwhelmed in that environment, and then you become internally angry and you don't know how to deal with it. You know what I'm saying, Jordan?
Mm.
So those are the top two for sure. That one in my presentation is Shrek. Overwhelmed and angry. So it gives a nice visual for what people are feeling, because if we don't open up and get rid of it, we will hit burnout faster, and it actually starts shutting down parts of your brain that cause you to be depressed. So, like burnout as a whole is like 44 to 85% of everyone experiencing it in some type of fashion, which is a really high like percentage. And that's why we need to take a moment where we're thinking about how we're feeling and process through any emotions that are staying in our body so we can get it out. It causes disease. It's chronic stress is basically what it is. And it hurts you internally, not only with your relationships, it's the cost is too high to not deal with it.
Yeah. Exactly. So, so like dealing with like the preventable measures, right?
Mhm.
Um, uh, I know that that you and me were talking back and forth about this a little bit, and by the time people seek help, it's too late.
Right.
Right? They already burnt out. They already experienced it. That's why, okay, Kiki, where are ya? You know, what about when things are going fine and you have boundaries and you have all these things that are, and things are almost remarkable?
Hmm.
Like, how can you, but at the back of your head, you feel like you're slipping back into the old habits and the old
Hmm.
routines.
Hmm.
um how how can you help people in those kind of situations?
Absolutely. So, I mean, one, the burnout course is so good to just have that content because then you have the tools to know. Because I just talked about it with my group last night. Actually, it's called a resilient routine. So you identify what might come, or might come at you to cause you to slip back into that out of balance habit, right? And then
Oh, good.
you take a minute to plan ahead, right? To kind
Mm,
of say, all right, well, this might cause me to do this, or this might be a trigger for me to start eating bad again, right? Or like simple things, or this if I work with this person on this shift, it's going to make me angry, and so I need to say my expectation up front.
yeah.
So there's part of the course that goes into that because I don't want people to slip back into that. Now, also able to, like with my masterminds that I do, or even the one-on-one coaching, because I have all these tools. That's why as a coach, this is where you're at. Okay. This is where you want to be. You don't ever want to go be back here. So that's the power of coaching as well, you know?
Okay. Yeah. Like, that accountability is so important, where you can just
Yeah.
like, hey, Kiki, things are going great, but I find myself doing this, and then they have that clear direction, right? Also, I think most people like the accountability aspect of it as well. So yeah,
Especially since it's confidential
yeah.
and it's a safe
Oh,
space.
wonderful. Yeah.
That's what's really important is if you don't have a safe space where you can be vulnerable and actually talk things out with someone who, like me, who can see your potential, see past what you see, right?
Yeah.
Then you're kind of floundering out here, right? And so when you find that safe space, you're like, okay, great, I can process through this. And then you quickly are able to let go of things that might have been a trigger before, but you're able now to respond to them in a healthy manner instead of, completely cussing out that other person like on a dime, like
Yeah.
out, like
Yeah.
bumping, like we're talking about. But you're able to say, no, that is not going to control me.
Yeah.
I am in control of me.
Yeah.
And this is what I have to say to you. And this is now what I'm going to have to choose to do because XYZ, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever it is. And that's like an honor and a pleasure for me to walk people through that because, every relationship is different. Every person is made in their unique giftings. And so it's not the same for everyone.
Yeah. So we always like to talk about family. Family is the basis of what we do. Um, the more family values, the better in the world. We believe. So there comes a time when perhaps even your family is like burning you out. Well, maybe not the cause of burnout, but just like dealing with them day to day, right?
It
So
adds on to pressure, especially if you're in a
exactly,
season with smaller children.
exactly. So any I mean, we've, and then we're going to go into the workplace, which opens up another whole can of worms, right? And different strategies. So, any strategies on dealing with like uh, family
Home.
trials or family not peaceful home environments, or indifference is big. I think like people in the family indifferent to
Mm,
other people.
Hmm.
Any tips?
Yeah, the environments can also be very toxic.
Mm,
So, in the family, so for starters, it's having self compassion and grace for yourself. Okay. Because the thing about it is, we have expectations that we place on ourselves and then we place them on others. So, we have to reevaluate the expectations we have on ourselves and others, especially in the season that we're in the family. All right. That's really, really, really important because if you're handling, 1 to 5 kids to whatever and however many their ages are, right? There's it just feels like there's not enough time in the day. But when you have the proper perspective that this time is valuable that I'm spending with this child, or this time is valuable teaching this child, then you have grace for the expectations you have for yourself. And then we talk about time blocking in a sense of where like your prime time is and your people time. Because if you get your stuff done in your prime time,
yeah,
then you can have like better people time.
yeah,
So that's the first thing is that's really important. Now, when you are in an environment that isn't serving you well, that isn't supportive, maybe, there are definitely things that you need to do. For an example, is to say your expectations, right?
hmm,
And just like, this is what I need. Like, and if for an example, let's just say it's a marriage, right? And you say, hey, these are my expectations, this is what I need, but that partner doesn't want to do any of those things, like, you might need to seek counseling. That's not a bad thing, right? Every step in the right direction is good,
exactly.
even if you don't feel like it's the right direction, but you have to make changes. If you don't deal with it, or if you don't talk about it, you internalize it and you become a different type of burnout, which we
Yeah,
call jealous and resentful. Okay.
yeah,
that
exactly.
that deals with more of hurts. When you're hurt, burnout can happen in that area as well. And so that's another area we walk through, with the clients, right? So just talking about expectations and then handling it, making choices again that align with your values and move you forward, to not be afraid. Now, if it's external, like your external family, maybe not the ones in the house,
Yeah,
right? Okay, you've got the culture pressure, you've
yeah,
got the family pressure. That is sometimes it's hard because you really love these people, or you think they expect certain things from you. And that's why having tough conversations is the best thing to do. Sometimes we're really afraid of them, but we don't have time to be afraid of them.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all about like realizing that maybe they're your family, and hopefully they have your best interests at heart. And if they're not willing to accept it, well, I mean, um, just cope with day to day and hope for the best, right? So, so, so yeah. I
you,
want,
you love them, you love them from a distance. For
yeah, exactly. It's
a
like
little bit, you
my
hope
long
they're
distance covering my long distance cousin that lives across the country. So yeah,
that's what Zoom is for sometimes, or FaceTime.
yeah,
But no, it's
exactly.
real though, like, because
Yeah,
when we call them energy vampires.
yeah,
when they when they like
true.
suck the life out of you, you're like,
Yeah,
I should probably limit my contact here, because
yeah,
if you need to spend time with them, let's say it's a wedding or something you want to go to or whatever, right? You just have to know that's going to require most of my energy, and I'm going to need to go and recoup. Like, I have to go back and recharge, plug
yeah,
in somewhere. Otherwise, that
exactly,
will really affect you.
exactly. So, so let's open up this can of worms, and then let's go into strategies and tips and tricks, and then um, you have an event at the end of the month, and you have an event next week,
Mhm.
which is going to be awesome as well. So we're going to get into those as well. And by the end of this, if anyone wants to contact Kiki, I tagged her on LinkedIn, so just DM her. And also, I'm gonna actually put this in right now. Um, a link is down below there for the to register for the free event.
Yeah.
So
Come to the
it's
webinar.
it's fairly simple. All you just do is just click that page, put in your email, and then the Zoom link will be shared with you uh, on the email. So
Yep.
it's very simple to do. So
Easy.
I I really want to urge everyone to, even if things are going good, even if things are going dandy, fine and dandy for you right now in your business, there's going to be strategies, tips, and tricks shared there to prevent burnout, which is very essential to continue to be a high achiever.
Yeah.
So, um, let's get into the workplace now.
Okay.
Depending on whether you have a business, whether you are dealing with coworkers, whether you are working at home, I mean, there's a whole bunch of scenarios that we can be confronted with each day on a daily basis, right? So,
Job security, job security.
job security is a big one. Yeah, job security is a big one. So, any strategies on dealing with workplace and dealing with like bosses that expect too much of you?
Yep. So I am kind of making a joke because this is what I used to do to calm down. I'd be like, job security, job security, job security. I'm not even joking now. Because I'm like, what in the world is this? So, all right, a couple things. One is you have to realize the work will always be there. Like that's our like work will always be there. If,
Exactly.
if you like your desk clean, clean it up. Wind down, clean your desk so you can come in afresh the next day. It's just always going to be there.
Yep.
It's always going to ring on your phone. It's always going to ring through the night. Y'all need to have boundaries with your phone and your email.
Yep.
Okay. The other thing is know your worth. Okay. There are so many people out there that are afraid to ask for more money. They're afraid to say no because it's that deep fear of I need this money or I can't lose this job or whatever. You are worth so much. And if your leader, boss, whatever, supervisor can't see that, y'all, someone out there will see it. So don't be afraid of that because when we sit in the fear of that, when the boss comes to us and is giving us a whole other job that isn't yours, you basically don't say no. Now, my advice is to let them know when you could have it to them.
Yep.
Okay. Because a lot of times there'll be a boss who gives you something last minute and it's like due the next day or whatever, but you have already things to do. So
Yeah.
you'll need to say, all right, would you like me to work on this or would you like me to work on this?
Yeah.
Right. And if they want you to work on whatever it is they just gave you, fine, work on it. But then you need to look at it and allocate what it is that like the time, how long is it going to take you to do it? Right. It's going to take you 8 hours. Then you need to tell them, hey, this isn't going to be able to get to you, but I can get it to you tomorrow by 3,
Mhm.
whatever. Because it'll happen on a day that your kid has some kind of recital at night or some game you got to go to. Or
That's true. That's
there's
true.
always like this like thing that
Yeah.
happens, right? And
Exactly.
so, like Jordan said, the family is the most important, right? That's your legacy. And so to know your value, that you can go and disconnect and you can, because a lot of times, Jordan, you read those things and it's like, you've got to be the yes person.
Yeah.
You've got to be the yes person. Okay, mind you, I understand that. Like if you want that job at the top, you might not want to have
A team
children.
player, right?
Yeah, you might not want to. You might want to build your life around that goal. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Because you don't want to not be there with your kids as they're growing up because you'll miss it. It's so fast. It happens like this. Trust me, I'm an empty nester, so it happens like super fast. So I think those would be like my first layer of advice for really combating things that happen in the workplace like that. The other aspect is not just with the boss, but it's with customer service and the people that you serve. People out there are angry and crazy sometimes, okay, especially when they don't get their way. And so really being self-aware of where you're at, because you can't handle, five people in a row just freaking the heck out, you know? Like
Yeah.
that just you get to your fifth one and you didn't take a break, you're gonna be a volcano instead of them, just
Mhm.
because of what has continued to come at you. So
Yep.
it's almost like you gotta wave the yellow flag or something, be like, I'll be right back. I need to take a minute. Because if you
Yep.
if you don't take that minute, you could be
Yeah.
fired in the next one.
Exactly. Exactly.
Does
Exactly.
that help?
Yep. Um, for the 15 people, 15, 16 people watching right now, please let us know where you're from. Please, if you haven't already registered for Kiki's upcoming events, there's a link there in the comments. All you just do is plop your email, and they'll send you all the details to your email. So,
Yeah.
and by all means, please let us know you're here. Please let us know any questions or
Love
anything
live
at all,
questions.
and then Kiki can respond to them as we go along here. So let's talk about mistakes. Okay, specifically when diagnosing burnout, right? Because I know that there's many degrees of burnout, many types of burnouts, as you said. But um, so, is there any danger in misdiagnosing burnout, or um, do you believe, or do you believe? Oh, well, that would be beneficial anyway because then we take preventive measures,
Yeah,
or what is your opinion about that?
that is a great question. For those of you watching, and if you're interested, I can actually DM you a burnout
Oh
assessment,
yeah, yeah, that'd be good.
because
That'd be good.
yeah, it goes from, basically like, not really, like you're doing okay, but watch out for this, all the way up to severe.
Okay,
Okay. And
wonderful.
and
That
it's yeah.
that's a great resource to have. So, um, do you I guess we can hand it. It's like a PDF, or is it
Yeah,
like
I can actually post it like in the comments after
okay, cool.
after we post on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so y'all can take that because it'll help you just assess where you are, and somebody else isn't assessing you, type of thing. And you
Mm,
can you can say, okay, I should probably work on this. The dangers I think the danger is in when you're in like moderate to great to severe, like maybe you're in the moderate and you really are in severe. you
yeah.
know that that's dangerous. One, it's dangerous to your health because again, that chronic stress is not sustainable. It's just not. You're going to have some type of, you hear all of a sudden, like somebody will say, like, I went through a year and I was having like deep depression. Okay. Or I went through a year and I couldn't breathe. I was having anxiety. I couldn't get out of the bed. Like, those are the things that happen when you experience this chronically over time and don't properly diagnose, what's going on. That's the danger in it,
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, so let's get into like a little bit about the strategies and the um, tips that you have
Yeah.
for specifically your clients.
Hmm.
So, can you walk us through, like, specifically, like how you help your clients and what kind of things you go through? Um, uh, of course, you don't have to give everything away, obviously, but
Secret,
just so
secret
that
stuff.
they can get like, just so the audience can get like an idea of what
Yeah.
it's like to work with you.
Yeah. Well, yes, secrets. No, I, I do have those pre-assessments that we go through. And I think that that's really important because, again, I can't say it enough. If you don't figure out where you are, you cannot create the pathway to where you want to be. And so those pre-assessments are like a state of life assessment.
Yep.
It goes through, relationships, finances, work, even spiritually, if you want to go there, right? And then
Mm,
yourself.
yeah.
So it assesses all of those areas for you, and then the wheel of life, the leadership wheel, and the job performance. That's where you can see the growth in it. Okay. Then we go into what is it that you want to be true in your life, right?
Mm,
And it's from those assessments that we are able to see those specific things and create the roadmap from there. So whether that be something of like in the course, in the Burnout to Energize course, it's like the reset, that balance blueprint. We've got to recognize where we're at.
yeah.
What is it, right? And then, just engage in the things that we need to do, right? And so we talk about the boundaries that each one needs to set. We talk about expectations, culture pressures, and how we've defined success for our lives, because some people don't know. They just don't
Yeah.
know. And
Exactly.
so, just taking the minute to do that, that gets through it. I talk about the roots and the fruits a lot, the roots and the fruits, and I just want to explain that, right? If you you know, if you've got that root, pretend you're a tree,
Yeah.
and you've got that root, but your root is anger.
Yeah.
Okay? Let's just say your root is anger.
Mhm.
The fruit of the tree is not going to be tasteful.
Yeah. So true.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And so if we don't get down to the underlying roots, and that's what we talk about, is what are those underlying roots that you need to pull up and like plant new ones, and then we got to water the new ones so that you become like a fruitful tree that is sweet to taste, right?
Hmm.
It's pretty to see, and it's fulfilling.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Wonderful. Yeah. So it's like a step by step customized guide.
Yeah, there's
That
homework, there's videos,
nice.
there's homework, and the homework builds on it so that you can process what it is that you're dealing with,
Amazing.
yeah.
Amazing. So it's like a
Blueprint.
huge self discovery session at
Yes.
first, and then um, guidance along the way, right? And
Yes,
then
you got
yeah,
me, you got a group. Hmm.
awesome. Wow, that seems to be like well, I know for a fact that it is very effective, and like what results? Is there any kind of result that comes to mind? Like, you don't have to mention like the name or anything, obviously, but is there any like a result that comes to your mind?
Yeah, I actually just message, so my people that are in the course right now, I actually asked them, hey, can you tell me, like, when I started I felt blank and now I feel blank. Okay. And this is only mid course. So this is only 3 weeks in. All right. So when I started, I felt exhausted and completely overwhelmed. And now I feel less overwhelmed each day and rejuvenated.
Wow.
And then this
Amazing.
one, when I started, I felt overwhelmed, and now I feel enlightened. When I started, I felt overwhelmed, unseen, and unwell, and now I feel relieved, excited, and uplifted.
Amazing. Amazing. Yeah. Wow. Um, uh, those are like amazing results in only 3 weeks, right?
Halfway,
And it's halfway there. So, um, uh, so how long is the course?
6 weeks.
6 weeks. Okay, 6 weeks.
Yeah,
So,
because you got to lay the foundation for 2 weeks, because you got to work when you're
yeah,
doing it. Like
yeah,
you can
exactly,
do it faster if you didn't have to work, but you got to go to work. And
exactly.
so 2 weeks is foundational because it's 21 days to a new habit, but it's 63 to get into your subconscious. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm with this group 2/3 of that way, and then they have all the tools to do that third one on their own.
Ooh, nice. Okay, so, 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 I,
Strategic.
I see. I see the strategy behind that. It's like you hold their hand, but
Mm-hmm.
then it's okay. You walk by yourself.
Yep.
There you go.
Because it's the
Yeah,
tools for
very good.
you to use for the rest of your life to be able
Amazing,
to not ever, 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 ever go back to that overwhelming place again, or that place where
amazing.
you feel like chaos. Chaos could be around you, but you no longer feel chaotic. You know what I mean?
Mhm. So, in the words of Ade Kunle, thank you for this session. Happy Thursday. Yeah.
Yay, thank
Uh,
you.
thank you for tuning in. And for the 15, 17 watching right now, please check Kiki out if you're just trying to prevent things or if you're just feeling overwhelmed at the moment. She'll be here for you. Um, she she's very dynamic and she's been doing this for a long time and she's leading the way, paving the way for the burnout coaches to follow. I believe. La,
Mm.
la, like there's a lot of burnout coaches out there, obviously, right? But there's only one Kiki out
That's
there,
right.
and so what I find that is very impactful about like these kind of strategies is like you being there almost all of the way, but then okay, go tackle it by yourself.
You can do it.
So
You can
so
totally do it.
so I think that's very empowering. I think that's um, very very impactful as well. So thank you so much for your time, Kiki. Here
Yeah.
again, the links are down below, and Kiki will put in the
Burnout
self
assessment place.
assessment
Mm-hmm. Yep.
PDF file. And if you have any questions directed at her, please get in her DMs. Please ask away the questions. If you want to explore working with Kiki, even please get in her DMs. Um, is it usually like a book call that you like
Yeah, book a call.
assessment
Yeah,
call?
discovery call. Want to make sure that we're the right fit, right?
Yeah,
You got to have the right coach.
exactly. And then you're one step further to experiencing that freedom that comes with living life based on your why, not feeling burnt out, not feeling tired all the time, and being
Energized.
intentional and energized, right? Awesome. Okay, Kiki, well, thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah,
And again, please register down below for this event. It's 7 p.m.
central.
Central Time on the 19th.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and I also want to live to lead. There's
Yes.
another event coming up. Can you talk a little bit about that as well?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. So on February 28th, which is the last day of this month,
Ooh,
uh,
nice.
at 9 a.m. Central. It's virtual. Y'all can listen to it while you work because this is the last day that I'm able to show this content. It's exclusive content through Maxwell Leadership, and it's a virtual session. I'm going to rebroadcast some speakers, so it'll be virtual. and it's John Maxwell. Shante
Wow.
Lowe is our four-time Olympic gold medalist for the
Wow.
high jump.
Amazing.
John Gordon, Michael Jr. is a comedian, is hilarious. Valerie Burton is my mentor coach. And then another session with John Maxwell. So you can totally listen while you work. It's the last call registration for that. And I can post that in the chat as well. And there's also a LinkedIn event as well for it.
Amazing. Amazing. So, Kiki, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
Any ending thoughts that you may have?
Yep. No, I want to tell everyone no matter what you have experienced or you feel like you're experiencing now, if you're kind of frustrated and you're not reaching your potential, what you're in and what you've experienced before doesn't have to define who you are going to be and who you're going to become, because there's so much more inside of you that you can do and be and make a positive change on your atmosphere and your world, your family and your friends than you can ever imagine. So I'm here for you.
Awesome. Okay, Kiki, thanks so much
Yeah.
for this amazing session. I'm sure that many people will be impacted by it and helped by it. So, once
Awesome.
again, we are the Social Tiger. We have podcasts every week, every Tuesday and Thursday with entrepreneurs, with mindset coaches, LinkedIn experts across the board to really give you value. And thank you one more time for your time, Kiki, and looking forward to seeing more of you on LinkedIn for sure. Have a good one, guys, and thank you so much.